Most people think a Toyota is a 200,000-mile car. Wrong. There's a reason Toyotas have the reputation. These engines are built to last a lifetime. Not in perfect conditions, not with miracle products, in the real world. But nobody tells you this kind of lifespan is not automatic. Miss the basics, cut corners, or follow bad advice, and even the most reliable Toyota will tap out early. After years of working on these cars every day, I've seen exactly why some Toyotas die young while others just keep going. Same models, same engines, totally different outcomes. In this video, I'm breaking down the habits real Toyota mechanics rely on to make these cars last for decades. Stick around, because tip number 3 is against what most owners believe. Let's get into it. Secret number 1. Change your engine oil on time. Let me say this as plainly as I can. The fastest way I've seen a great engine get destroyed is skipped oil changes. Not abuse, not hard driving, just neglect. Engine oil is the one thing standing between metal parts grinding themselves to death. It lubricates, cools, and cleans everything inside that engine. But oil doesn't last forever. Once it breaks down, thickens, or fills up with dirt, it stops protecting anything. That's when wear speeds up, heat builds, and damage starts quietly stacking up mile after mile. I've torn down Toyota engines that should have gone 300,000 miles, but were worn out before 180,000. Not because they were bad engines, because the oil was pushed too far, too often. This is the easiest problem to avoid. Most Toyotas are happiest with oil changes every 5,000 to 6,000 miles, regardless of what long-life oil claims say. Check your owner's manual, not the sticker on the windshield. If the engine gets louder, the oil looks thick and black, or the warning light shows up, don't delay. Doing it yourself costs about $40 and half an hour. Ignoring it can cost you $4,000 or more. Regular oil changes are cheap insurance. Skip them, and eventually, the engine always collects. Secret number 2. Don't ignore your engine coolant. This is another quiet killer I see all the time, and most owners don't even realize it's happening. Toyota's pink coolant isn't just there to keep the engine from overheating. It's protecting every internal surface the coolant touches. Years ago, red coolant was the norm. That era is gone. Modern Toyotas rely on that pink long-life coolant, and it still has a limit. Here's the rule I tell every customer who wants their Toyota to reach 300,000 miles. Change the coolant every 50,000 miles or every 5 years, whichever comes first. I don't care what you've heard about 100,000-mile coolant. I've watched too many engines pay the price for waiting. As coolant ages, it turns acidic. When that happens, it starts attacking seals, gaskets, and metal from the inside. One of the first casualties is usually the water pump. The seals wear out, bearings get noisy, and leaks start showing up. If it goes further, that acid can damage coolant passages, leading to internal leaks, misfires, white smoke, and expensive repairs. Hybrid owners, this applies twice. The inverter coolant matters just as much. Coolant is cheap. Engines and inverters aren't. Change it on time, and you avoid problems most people never see coming. Secret number 3. Don't ignore the PCV valve. This is one of those parts almost nobody thinks about, and that's exactly why it causes so many problems. The PCV valve is small, cheap, and easy to forget, but it plays a huge role in how long your engine lasts. Its entire job is to let the engine breathe. It relieves pressure inside the crankcase and routes harmful gases back into the intake so they can be burned off instead of building up. When it's doing its job, you'll never know it's there. When it clogs, everything starts going downhill quietly. I've seen Toyotas come in with rough idles, oil disappearing between changes, and engines packed with sludge. No warning lights, no dramatic failure, just long-term damage caused by pressure that had nowhere to go. Once that pressure builds, seals start leaking, gaskets wear out faster, and oil gets forced into places it doesn't belong. The engine still runs, but it's aging way faster than it should. Here's the part that frustrates me. Fixing this takes minutes. Pull the valve out and shake it. If it rattles, you're good. If it doesn't, replace it. Most PCV valves cost less than lunch and install in under 10 minutes. I tell Toyota owners to check it every 10,000 to 15,000 miles and replace it around 50,000. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. Secret number 4. Keep your battery terminals clean. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this play out. Someone turns the key, nothing happens, and the first assumption is always the same: dead battery. But a lot of the time, the battery itself is fine. The problem is sitting right on top of it. That white or bluish crust on the terminals isn't just dirt, it's corrosion, and it acts like a wall between the battery and the rest of the car. When it builds up, power can't flow properly. The starter doesn't get enough juice, electronics act weird, and one morning the car just refuses to start. Leave it long enough and you'll actually kill a perfectly good battery. Then you're looking at $250 or more for a replacement. Add a tow, and it gets painful fast. This is one of the easiest problems to prevent. Pop the hood, grab a cheap wire brush, and clean the terminals. 5 minutes. No special tools, no shop visit. I tell people to do it twice a year, once in spring and once in fall, especially if you live where winters are cold or summers are humid. I've watched people get stranded over this more times than I can count. Don't let something this simple be the reason your Toyota lets you down. Secret number 5. Keep the MAF sensor clean. This is another one that sends people into a panic for no good reason. A Toyota comes in running rough, hesitating off the line, or burning way more gas than it should. The owner is already thinking of fuel pump, injectors, something expensive. Half the time, I already know where I'm going to look first: the mass airflow sensor, the MAF. It sits right after the air filter and tells the engine computer how much air is coming in so fuel can be matched correctly. When it's clean, the engine runs smoothly and efficiently. When it gets coated with dust or oil, the readings go bad. The computer guesses wrong, and suddenly you've got rough idle, sluggish acceleration, stalling, or a check engine light with codes like P0100 through P0104. I've had Camrys and Corollas roll into the shop that felt like they were falling apart. 5 minutes later, they drove out running like new. No parts replaced, no big bill, just a dirty sensor. Cleaning it is simple. Remove the sensor, spray it with proper MAF cleaner only. Never breaker carb cleaner. Let it air dry and reinstall it. That's it. Do this every 20,000 to 30,000 miles, and you keep your Toyota sharp, efficient, and out of trouble. Secret number 6. Change transmission fluid the right way. Transmission fluid is one of the most misunderstood things on a Toyota, and getting it wrong can shorten the life of the whole vehicle. If you want 300,000 miles, this matters. For most non-hybrid Toyotas, I recommend a fluid change around 60,000 miles or 6 years. Hybrids can usually go a bit longer, roughly 60,000 to 90,000 miles. Here's the mistake I see. People either never touch the fluid or they flush it too aggressively. Both cause problems. Inside the transmission, clutches wear and release tiny particles into the fluid. A small amount actually helps the clutch's grip. Too much causes valve issues. Remove all of it too often, and the transmission can start slipping. That's why a simple drain and fill works best. It refreshes the fluid without shocking the system. Always use the correct Toyota fluid, usually WS or CVTFE for CVTs. Universal fluid is a gamble. When it fails, the bill stays with you. Secret number 7. Don't ignore brake fluid. Brake fluid is one of those things most drivers never think about until something feels wrong, but it plays a huge role in how safely your Toyota stops. When you press the pedal, that fluid is what transfers your foot's pressure to the brakes. If it's old or contaminated, stopping power drops fast. I've seen plenty of Toyotas come in with soft, spongy pedals or longer stopping distances, and the cause wasn't worn pads. It was a neglected brake fluid. Over time, brake fluid absorbs moisture. That moisture lowers braking performance and slowly corrodes internal brake components. For most Toyotas, changing brake fluid every 3 to 5 years is a smart move. Fresh fluid should be clear or light amber. If it's dark or cloudy, it's overdue. Topping it off is simple. Use the correct fluid, DOT3 or DOT4 depending on the model, and don't overfill. If the system is bled properly, the pedal should feel firm. Clean brake fluid isn't just maintenance, it's peace of mind. Secret number 8, keep the air filter clean. This is one of the simplest things you can do for your Toyota, and it actually makes a difference. The air filter is your engine's lungs. Every bit of air going into the engine passes through it first. When it's clean, the engine breathes easily, runs smoother, and burns fuel the way it's supposed to. When that filter gets clogged, airflow drops. The engine has to work harder just to breathe. Fuel economy suffers. Throttle response feels lazy, and over time you're adding unnecessary stress to the engine. I've seen cars come in running rough that needed nothing more than a fresh air filter. The fix couldn't be easier. Most Toyotas need a new air filter every 12,000 to 15,000 miles, or about once a year. Many of them can be changed in minutes with no tools at all. Open the airbox, swap the filter, and close it back up. It's cheap, quick, and effective. Secret number 9, replace spark plugs at the right time. Spark plugs aren't a fluid, but they're just as critical to how your Toyota runs. The two biggest mistakes I see are changing them too early or installing the wrong ones. Both can cause more problems than they solve. If the engine is running well, most Toyotas don't need spark plugs until around 120,000 miles. Some newer V6 engines, like the 2GR-FKS, need them sooner, closer to 60,000. Always check the manual. When it's time, use the exact original plugs. Same brand, same part number. I've watched people save a few dollars with aftermarket plugs, only to come back with rough running and engine codes. For a part you replace once every several years, it's not worth the gamble. One more tip, if the car is over 10 years old, pull and reinstall the plugs even if mileage is low. Old plugs can seize and snap later. Secret number 10, watch the belts before they fail. Belts are easy to ignore because they don't make noise until it's too late. The serpentine belt may look simple, but it powers everything from the alternator to the power steering and air conditioning. When it fails, you don't lose one system, you lose all of them at once. That's why I tell people to actually look at it once in a while. Pop the hood. If you see cracking, fraying, or a shiny glazed surface, the belt is done. Waiting for it to snap is how people end up stranded. Most Toyotas need a serpentine belt around 100,000 miles, sometimes sooner depending on conditions. Now, timing belts are a different story. If your Toyota has one and it breaks, engine damage is almost guaranteed. That's not a warning light problem, that's a tow truck problem. Replace it on schedule, usually between 60,000 and 100,000 miles. Belts are cheap, engines are not. If you're enjoying this video, consider watching the next one, where I'm guiding Toyota owners with my honest experience to cut breakdown costs.